Well, Steve's been trying to leave for the past 20 minutes, and we're thinking of reasons to keep him around. So we decided to do a top 10 list from today. Now, I started the list. It's actually simple. To me, it was an easy list today. We only had 28, scratched down to 27 horses, 2 made breaks. So we're looking for the 10 out of the 25. Pretty easy list. But it is, I think, actually, as I did my list, I don't want to rubberneck on you.
Okay.
As I did my list, I suspect most people's list will look similar. I just thought it was a great day top to bottom, but these 10, I spelled that horse's name wrong. These 10 stuck out to me for sure of horses that were worth talking about. Now, I suspect 1, 2, and 3 for most people are the same, but all the other ones may be a little different. I'm going to let you go first. Now we're going,
10 to 1?
10 to 1. Starting at 10, you have to explain why. You can't just say the horse's name. So here we go. Top 10 list. Steve Palermo's going first. Number 10.
Arrowhead Hanover.
Okay. Arrowhead Hanover. Why 10? Why did he get on your list?
He raced. I thought he was really good. He come home the last quarter 29-1.
Did he really?
Yep.
I didn't even know that.
Mile 2-3. Yeah, he was very good.
My top 10. Number 10. Oh, hell no. There was a filly that I really thought trained her in 2.7 where I trained the other horses in 2.3, 2.4, 2.5. So she was a hair behind everybody. Hunter Myers never sat behind him in his life, obviously. And when we were going on the track, I set the hobbles, and then when they went out, I thought, geez, they look a little bit tight. I said, hey, Hunter, listen, just let her do what she wants, right? Just don't double her up, don't ask her, just let her float along at her own speed. She lands on the front, and at this point, you look at it, what they go?
2.6 and 3.
Yeah, the track was horrendous when she started going. It was deep. She's got flip-flops on too. Track is deep, sloppy. It was just a really, really tough surface for a horse like her to get through. I'm thinking about new driver. Hobbles were definitely just a hair too tight. Flip-flops on in the slop, and hadn't been as much as everybody else. For her to control the race and win the set the way the qualifier the way she did, I just thought it was a really impressive mile and a big step forward for her mentally. So easily, number 10. She could have won a little bit higher, but number 10. 9
is on my list was Oh Hill No.
Oh,
but okay. I mean, not for the same reasons actually, because I don't know half the stuff you just said.
Yep.
But it was so easy, and the horses that were beat were very good, right?
Yep.
Like, okay, Gymboree made a mistake and stuff like that, but Cadeau's a nice horse, and High Hopes is okay, and and very, very solid.
I thought she was good. Number 9 is your number 10, Arrowhead Hanover. Now, I love Arrowhead Hanover. Love the horse. Love what he did today. I didn't know he come 29-1 until you just said it. So I'm curious what his last half was, if you can do the math real quick in your head. Because he was really trotting the last 3/8 of a mile. Memento Mori went a great mile, but was out ahead of me and landed in front of me. So I was really happy with Arrowhead Hanover.
58-2.
58-2 in the mud. It's a hell of a mile. I like this horse. I think he's going to get better. And better and better, and by the time we stake race him in July, I think we're going to have a very well-rounded trotter. What that finished product looks like, we're not there yet. What that finished product looks like will be fine. If he's a Stallion Series horse, great. If he's a Sire Stake horse, perfect. But I think he'll be a nice horse to race either way. So your number 10 was my number 9. My number 9 is your number 10. Let's start with number 8.
Manhattan Money.
Manhattan Money. All right.
Okay. Whoops. Okay. So Manhattan Money was a horse that Billy was driving that made the big move. Mm-hmm. And it flattened out at the end, but that's a big move. Big
horse in a muddy track with flip-flops on. Plus, he's never been used to being moved in that manner. And this is today, a number of these horses, we try to put them in every position possible, but I don't even think he's ever seen anything like that. For him to quarter pole to the front, you can imagine a horse that never spent a lot of time on the front end, quarter poling to the front. Everything is different, right? Plus, the footing underneath you is not well. He can't possibly be getting a hold of the track well with those flip-flops on. For him to take everything in and trot the way he did, he get picked off, but he probably got a little bit tired too, trying to work in the hobbles with his gait, and he is the biggest horse we have. He's a gigantic animal. So for him to do all that on a half-mile track, first time behind the gate, pretty impressive mile, I thought. So you're right. My number 8 was Rose Run Alexandra. I like the filly. I'm a little concerned about her touching that knee, but I believe we have a plan to get her out. I rewatched the videos again now, Jason Merriman said that they've let her hobbles out quite a bit in the last week. I don't think they're anywhere near where they should be. I think they need to be out another 3 holes. So we're going to let them out and continue to work with her. If for a horse that never hit her knee, it shouldn't be difficult to get her off and keep her off her knee. That's easier said than done. I shouldn't say it shouldn't be hard, because many times historically in the past it has been hard with many horses. Scotty Zero and I talked about this on the way to the airport, her touching her knee, and how it's weird. I really can't explain it either. You have a horse that would train down. She's been halves in 5, 6, 4, never touched her knee. And it's not the speed. It just seems like once they touch that knee and it hurts, they find a way to continue to find it. I don't understand it. It's so weird. I've seen it happen many, 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 many times. And it's never an easy fix. But we'll endeavor to fix it. And I think we can. Aside from all that, super fast filly. Really, really nice filly. That was her brother that won the gold last night at 1-9. Rose Run Zane. That's her brother. And I don't want to say she's going to follow in the same footsteps. Different sire, different horse. But a very nice filly nonetheless. And I think we do have to work hard over the next 2-3 weeks to square her away, but we can get there. So my number 8 is Rose Run Alexandra. Who's yours?
No, my 7 now, is it?
Oh yeah, you're on 7. Who was your 8?
Manhattan Money.
Right, we talked about him. Rose Run 7.
And my 7 is from the same race, Rosetta.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was very good. She didn't do much, but she was second on the outside and blows the last turn. Still comes the last quarter in 29 and change. I thought she was very good. Yeah, and I'm sure that there's, a reason why she blows the last turn at that speed,
That's what I had told Chris going out. We were a Murphy blind outside. She does run in a bit in the turns, much like what happened with Gymboree. But the reason being, when you're asking them to accelerate in the turns, sometimes they do wander and they'll blow that turn. That's why that Murphy blind was out there with her and with Gymboree. And he went to accelerate with her. She probably touched herself a little bit and just sashayed to the right. And when you're going that speed, you're not going a mile and 30. You're going racehorse speed. When you're going that speed, especially in the mud, and trying to traverse it the best you can, sometimes it's easier just to wander a bit, and that's where she gets herself into any trouble. So the easy, and that was not Chris's fault. Again, keep in mind, these guys have never sat behind these horses in their life. And I had said to Chris, just try not to put her into a bad spot. And that's why he moved her out of the 2-hole, because he didn't want to get her jammed up in the last turn. I said, just don't put her in a spot where you could get in trouble, because you might with her. She's usually sure-footed, but she's made breaks in dumb places sometimes. Saw her make a break on Amy clearing to the front one day and halfway down the backstretch following cover. Just stupid places where a horse shouldn't make breaks. So I said, just make sure you have her attention and make sure she's advancing. And that's why he came out of the 2-hole. And when he did, she just kind of blew the turn and wandered to the right. Scotty shot up through the middle. That's what I should have done with Grand Slam D.O., but I think she's a very, very nice horse. I still have New Jersey in my sights with her, but she'll paint the rest of that picture over the next 2-3 weeks. My number 7 was Rose Run AJ. This is a tough list for me to make today. I thought it was going to be easy, and when I started, I'm sure our 1, 2, and 3 are all the same, and most of everybody's out there today. The open house, the qualifiers, 1, 2, and 3, I think should be somewhat solidified for everybody. But I'm seeing.
Now I'm nervous.
No, but now I'm seeing that our other ones are quite different. My number 7, Rose Run AJ, I think very highly of. I love the way he's starting to behave with that chain on, and hopefully at some point we can get that off of him. But Scotty was happy with him. I think Scotty just thought that he was going to overpower everybody, and then it was the first race where none of us could see anything. Our eyes are burning out of our head. He finished up, but he couldn't quite get to Gorgeous Package and the other filly that was in second. But I don't think he realized how fast they were actually going. And when you factor in what kind of a mile that is in the mud today, which was an incredible mile. Keep in mind, I had somebody say, geez, 59 is kind of lots, isn't it, for June? It is. 1, they did it easy. Definitely the horse that won it did it easy. 2, I told everybody we were going around 2-2, 2-3, but I didn't tell Hunter. And I just, as we're going to the gate, I'm like, I could see that he was kind of close enough to the gate. He was likely going to get away close. And I just dawned on me, I said, did I tell him I just want to go around 2-2 with this filly? And as he went out of there and he got to the corner and he's ahead of us, I'm like, I could tell he was going to end up going quicker than we wanted. But she did it easy. Everybody else did it easy. It was a very telling race. Rose Run AJ did his work well. He was behind me. He never made a noise, which is awesome. Foxy Seaside was the only one. It allowed me to see her stretched out. Got to change her shoes around a little bit, let her hobbles out a little bit, and start working with her. Rose Run Alexandra, we're going to have to change her shoes and work with her and let her hobbles out also. And if we didn't go that mile in 59, I likely wouldn't have been able to see that the same way I did.
Right.
So I'm not that worried about it. Everybody in there was well within themselves. And Rose Run AJ, fast horse, and as I just said to Jason Merriman inside, you're going to see him get better and better and better. When you feed him like speed like that, he always comes back tougher and more wiry the next time. And I just really like the horse. So number 7 to me, he could have been much further up the list, but I put him at number 7.
Okay, at 6 I got Rose Run Alexandra.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got all 3 of them to blow the story. And I have all 3 of those horses in this list, but this one I got the lowest just because I thought the other 2 were magnificent.
Yeah.
But she was, I mean, that's a huge mouth. She just sat mouth. Second.
Yeah.
I did hit the exactor cold.
You did, yeah. You had a cold.
I had a cold, but it was, I thought it was a very good race. Like very solid output.
Good filly.
Progressively faster quarters, which I like.
Yes, that's the other thing. Yes, and the thing I like about her was even though she's touching this knee and she did cut it, it is hurting her, but you couldn't tell from the grandstand. I could guarantee you that because she's a competitor. She goes out there and she wants to do her work, and you can't teach them that. That desire to want to succeed and do better, you can't teach them that. She has it. So 100%. My number 6 is I Don't Play Nice. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he has somewhat, now we still have 3 weeks, but somewhat solidified himself as our representative, I think, in the next generation. Super nice colt. You can tell he's got this beautiful gait. Now, I don't know why he got on that left line. I'm going to have Mike look at him. It doesn't look to me like there's any lameness or soreness issues, but he is on the left line. He was out 3 wide in the first turn, and when he cleared down to the front, he's still on the left line. Now, he did do that, used to do that pulling up. For me, if he's on the left line accelerating, there's no obvious lameness to me that says stifle. But I'll let the man with the degree tell us that. So Mike, Dr. Latessa will look at we'll look at him tomorrow. But I just think he's a nice horse. And again, Scotty clears him down the backstretch, and he's coming again at the wire. Like, I love when I see stuff like that from these horses. So I Don't Play Nice. Again, they get a little deep in this order now, and I love what I see from these horses. But number 6, I Don't Play Nice. 5.
Okay, maybe 5. Rose Run AJ.
Yeah.
Or a J.
I don't know why they call it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess it is AJAY.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know it was, but
if it was A space J, I guess it would
it's
be
not a J. You can't call him a
J.
J. Come on,
No,
Carter. It's not a J.
Yes.
It's a J.
J. Again, this back half is in a race where there was already progressively faster quarters, and you're closing.
What was
5
his?
lengths? What was his
Last half.
His last half. Well, the back half was 59 flat, and he gained a full 5
57 4.
5 lengths. So 57 4, 58 flat.
Yeah,
like, very good.
Yeah.
Last quarter 28 3.
Yeah, probably the fastest last quarter of the day, I would imagine. No.
Yes, it was the bullet. It was the bullet.
Yeah. So, I can't blame him. He's just a nice horse, top to bottom. This is the first year we've had an abundance of some nice pacers.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of them are in Ohio. Most of them are in Ohio, but I don't care where they are. Nice horses are nice horses. So,
I mean, for me to have 3 pacers on my list.
Well, what's that say? Absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
I don't generally even pay attention.
Yeah.
But these all got my attention.
Yeah. Well, they look good. That's why. My number 5 is my girl, Green Glitter. So Scotty said, a little sour on the end of it. Just felt like I said, well, 1, she won the race. She put them away. She got the job done. 2, she's got flip-flops on. And trust me, when I tell you the track was bad, it was progressively bad.
Yeah.
As the day went on. This was the last set. And you could see by the times how bad it was getting.
But it was visible from the grandstand.
Yes. She's got the ear hood on. She's got flip-flops on, a tight set of hobbles. As I said to Scotty, again, by him stretching her out a little bit, I get to see. She can't go with flip-flops on if I want to see the speed from her. And she should be able to stay sound. She's had them on forever. 2, let the hobbles out a little bit with her. And 3, take the ear hood off. Maybe even put a can't see back on her or a hood with cups, and I think she'd be much better. This filly has a lot under the hood. And I said, well, okay, so how was she in the hole? Because you moved her. He said she felt great in the hole. that was the issue right there. When you moved her out, stretched her out, it tired her out quickly. She got a little snugger hobble take, so we didn't want to see any breaks. And she's got those flip-flops on in the soup. So that is what the problem was to me. I love her gait. And the fact that she was a little pacey warming up, but was perfect in the mile, says to me again, focus, paying attention, understanding her work. So Green Glitter, easy number 5 for me.
So we already know from past videos where I was actually maybe not on the video, but in the video verbally, how I feel about Green Shoe.
I know.
So
I remember one of those videos.
So I have Green Glitter at 4. And she was trying to get beat, but she didn't get beat.
Well,
but she was
perspective.
She was trying.
Maybe she was trying to win.
I mean, Scotty's not exactly one that's going to be, like all up in the seat trying to win a qualifier.
If she had to get beat fair and square, I'd be saying, she looked to get beat. But when you hold on to win, you're still trying to the wire. That's my take on racing.
No, it was good. It was a good mile. She's at 4. I mean,
she's a nice, and she's another one of these horses where I can't tell you she's going to be a stake horse because I don't know. She's going to be a Stallion Series or a stake horse. By stake horse, I mean sire stake horse. I can't say that she's going to be a sire stake horse, but I can tell you she's going to be an effective 2-year-old wherever she races.
Right.
Stallion or sire stake, if she's fast enough, great. If she's not, she is going to be effective in the Stallion Series. I can assure you of that. She does everything perfect. And the fact, she never saw the gate, not a second in her life before today. That big wing, when those wings opened up, first time she ever saw it happen in her life. She just trotted right out of there, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I like the filly. I think very, very highly of her, and I can't wait to race her. I am tempered. I obviously throw Enzo's name around a little bit when I'm talking about horses.
Thanks. Yeah.
Well, when I talk about horses that let me down, because I thought the world of him, and he just come up short. Just come up shallow. This filly could be that way. I don't know.
Just so you know, I have his full brother, Yearling, who doesn't look or act anything. The exact polar opposite.
If that is a June sales pitch, we can talk more after the video.
No, it is a June sales pitch.
So Green Glitter, I like a lot. Now, my number 4, Freedom Hill. You need to go back and watch the video of Freedom Hill. I did not watch the video of Freedom Hill until after. Obviously, I was in the set. And then I went back and did the math. Checked that last half and last quarter and last 3 quarters out. He was 8 lengths off the lead when he moved him past the when he moved her past the quarter. Didn't clear till the backstretch, and Memento Mori is the one that run her down. I had no idea she was that good today. I know she's a great filly. We've talked about this. And I had one of our clients say, Anthony, come on. Well, all of a sudden, it was Freedom Hill, Freedom Hill, Freedom Hill, Freedom Hill. Now it's Aunt Lily is the leader. What happened to Freedom Hill? Nothing happened to Freedom Hill. These are 2 very good fillies. Now, I still believe Aunt Lily might have the lead when it comes to the next generation, as of right now. But I was blown away. This was, they're only babies, so you can't use it. Oh, this is vintage Freedom Hill. But this was Freedom Hill about a month and a half ago. She looked very good today and underappreciated good, because I bet you she's not even on your list, and that's why
she's not, and I'm wondering why, considering I had Arrowhead Hanover. I think she was supposed to be, but I think I just screwed up the list.
When you look at Freedom Hill, she's 8. She's
didn't even make my also eligible list.
Yeah. She's 8 lengths off the lead when he moves her. He's out 2 turns.
9 3/4 the quarter pole.
Well, there you go. I said 8. 9 3/4. What's the quarter in?
31 4.
So she's up there in 33 4 and goes a mile in 2 3 1.
Yeah, 2 3 2.
2 3 2 in the mud. Last 3 quarters 129 2. Pretty good mile.
That's
and out 2 turns. Out the turn.
Yeah,
out the turn at the quarter pole. Out the turn at the 5/8. Clears down the backstretch, and the best horse we have. I guess I just pulled my pants down a little bit. The best horse we have to date right now is the one that runs her down. Hell of a mile from Freedom Hill. You're number 3.
Gorgeous Package.
Gorgeous Package is number 3. Okay, tell me.
Well, just as soon as the car pulled away, dominant.
Yeah, and she loves. You know what I love about this filly? She is. I say it all the time, and I love it when they're merciless. They don't care what's going on in behind them. They could win by 100 or 2 lengths. They're there to do a job, and they get it done. That's what I love to see, and I see that with this filly. I don't know where it came from, this scrawny runt that was a throwaway from the last people that had her, and also ran from us until a month and a half ago, and all of a sudden this creature emerges that no one in the barn wants any piece of right now. I don't blame you. I mean, she's anybody.
I want to own her. That's all you really need to say.
Yeah.
Right.
Anybody that doesn't have And your top 10 list, or top 3 list, has to be the same as mine. Anybody that doesn't want to own or feel lucky to own any shares in those 3 horses, then you're in the wrong place, because Gorgeous Package, a very, very nice filly.
Right.
So my number 3 is Aunt Lily, who, as I said, our top 3s are going to be the same. Aunt Lily looked amazing today. What I loved about her, in the last turn, you got a horse in front of you. These are 2-year-olds, right? 2-year-olds. Never seen the gate. They're in the mud. We might have trained on off tracks, but we never trained on the mud, in the slop, in a pouring rainstorm. No. I guess it wasn't pouring, but it was raining. We've never trained them in that. You have a horse pull out in front of you in the last turn, blow the turn, and your driver asks you to drive right between the horse that just blew the turn and the horse on the front. Most horses hesitate. Most horses don't get the job done doing that. Scotty said she never even batted an eye. She just drove right through the middle and drove away to win. And that's a horse that understands their work, right? That's a horse that understands what they're asked to do. And she was amazing today. I was super, super impressed with her. I've been impressed with her. I told you guys, I told everybody, 2 weeks ago when I put all those horses in the race bike, no one trained better than Aunt Lily. No one trained better than her. She was amazing 2 weeks ago, and she looked every bit as good today.
So back when we had dinner, I don't know, a few months back in Guelph,
Mm-hmm.
you were trying to make a list for the 2 in training video.
Yep.
And I said, well, you're going to have Melisandre on there, and you didn't yet.
Mm-hmm.
And you went, well, nobody wants part of X filly, and I think it was Aunt Lily.
Yep.
Is that who it was?
Yeah, Aunt Lily. There was a stretch of almost 2 months,
and I was like, who?
Yeah, there was a stretch of 2 months where she just couldn't do anything right.
Right.
She was rude. She would pull. She would make breaks in weird places. And I want everybody out there that has owned, will own, or does own horses with us to just take a couple of minutes of your free time at some point. Go back and watch the trajectory of Aunt Lily. Go back and watch when we broke her. All those training trips, how horrible she was all winter. How you could slowly see these baby steps, and then she hit May, and everything hit, and she just took off. I trained her the other day thinking she was maybe our 6th, 7th best horse, one of our best fillies, and I finished the day saying this thing is a creature, and not only she might be our best horse in total, she is a very, very nice filly, and I would be shocked and heartbroken. And speaking as somebody, I don't think I own any shares of Aunt Lily. I can't own shares in all of them. I can't, and I really wish I did. She is an absolute monster on the track and feels that way, and that's just how she is. She's a really, really nice.
She wants to be a killer.
She wants to, and she has the ability to be. And I said to Scotty, I think he forgot, and I forgot for a minute. His sister last year, the 2-year-old that's now 3, was the best filly in Pennsylvania by far. Sierra's girl. She raced in the Breeders' Crown and destroyed everybody. In fact, and she was quirky as a bugger too. In fact, in the final of Pennsylvania, if I'm not mistaken, she either made a break or spotted them 5 or 6 lengths off the gate and still won the Pennsylvania final, if I'm not mistaken. So, super impressed with Aunt Lily today. I can't say enough about her. She's your number 2?
Yes.
My number 2 is Gorgeous Package.
Right.
Gorgeous Package, I told Steve, we're going to have the same top 3. I would love to put Gorgeous Package at 1, but the horse that I put at number 1 has been great from day one. From day one. From January till now. Gorgeous Package has emerged as the leader. A little separation today from Rose Run Alexander and Foxy Lady, obviously. Foxy Seaside. Yeah. You can see that, right? You guys can see that. That is me telling you. You can see it. They were all in together. And it doesn't seem to me like any of the other fillies, maybe any of the other pacers, want any part of Gorgeous Package. She is an animal right now. And I've been so pleased with her. And the thing I love about her, she looks, if you lined up 20 horses, and said, I want you to rank them on their athleticism and their looks 1 through 20, she's number 20 almost every time. She looks like a nice little filly. She's put, proportionally speaking, she's nice. She's got the right amount of muscle on. She doesn't wear a boot. She doesn't wear a pole. She wears a Murphy blind inside and a martingale. But I tell you what she does do. She loves to beat the hell out of horses, and she loves her job. And when you call on her, you can feel her in the last turn just quietly start to vibrate a bit, and she's just itching for you to call on her. And she just paces right through her skin when you do. She is just a really, really nice filly, and all her tiny little faults, and she had a lot of them at the start, have evaporated, and she's just turned into this perfect little athlete, and she is a sweetheart to drive, I can tell you that. Now, both our number ones are obviously Memento Mori.
Yes.
Memento Mori, it was Scott raved about him after the mile today. We've been raving about him forever. He's just been such a really, really good horse for us. The only question is, where's he race? Scott and I have come to the same conclusion, and I said to Scott, I said, listen, you qualify in the Meadowlands all June. You're going to see all the best horses in the world. Most of them are going to be staked in Kentucky. Now, they're not going, as Scott said, they're not going to Oak Grove, probably. And if you have a Grand Circuit horse, you're not in a big hurry to ship it 8 hours down to race in Oak Grove and then go to Kentucky. It's a little bit different for us. I said to Scott, I said, all those people out there that are looking for the next world champion and sire, that's fine. We just want nice horses. That's all I ever wanted, was just nice horses, to be able to race nice horses, and Memento Mori is a very nice horse. Do we go to the 40, 40, and 100 in Oak Grove and then have our sights set on Lexington, or do we stay in New York? And Scott said, well, I don't know. I think that this is a really, really good horse. And I said, well, it's simple. You're going to see or qualify all the best horses in the world over the next month in the Meadowlands. So we'll reconvene towards the end of June when I have to decide, is he going to race in New York or is he going to race in Oak Grove? And Scott and he said, I would think Oak Grove. And same thing we did with Pickpocket.
Well, he said that the first 2 or 3 are going to be 3, maybe even 4 divisions of gold.
So you're racing for $20,000, $30,000 to race in Buffalo, Batavia, Monticello, Vernon.
Which he says he'll zoom around. He'll be
he zips around a half grade.
Fantastic in those races. Yeah. But the other race goes, Oak Grove goes 40, 40, 100.
You're in Oak Grove. You're stabled at Oak Grove. Yeah. There's no shipping. It's not all over New York.
Right.
And then you know what you do? Exactly what we did with Pickpocket. Send them up to Kentucky or one of them farms, turn them out for a week, and have them ready for Lexington. And that worked well for us last year. I think it served us well, and I think it'll do the same this year.
Yeah.
So my trajectory written in pencil for Memento Mori is Oak Grove, elimination 1-2 final, field for a week, have them ready for Lexington, and away you go. And that's where I think we're going to go with him. Now, it's upsetting as we look at our top. For me, I'm happy for everybody out there. For me, I don't own any of 2 of the horses in the top 3. Not a share. I own none of Memento Mori, and I own none of Aunt Lily. None of either of them.
Yeah, well, I don't have Gorgeous Package.
Yeah.
Kind of obviously. Oh, and I don't have any of Aunt Lily.
But that's the way it is. I want everybody to do good. I want the stable to do good.
If anybody has any there that they're kind of, looking to move, Steven.palermo@me.com.
Listen, I've been super happy with this list as far as my ownership goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. None of AJ either. Oh, it bothers me. There was 6 or 7 horses in the top 10. I have small little pieces, which makes me happy for the summer, makes everybody happy, and you know what? Hopefully we have a great 2024 summer. But it certainly looks like we're off to a flying start. And as I said to Scotty, don't kid yourself. He said, you got a pretty good lineup. I said, yeah. You didn't even sit behind Chicago Hall yet. You haven't seen Gaslight Hall. You haven't seen Princess Dream. You haven't seen Resolve Indeed. They're in Ontario. Captain Incredible, he's in Ontario also. Melisandre's in the Burn, and so is a Trump. We have 7, 8, 9, 10 other horses you haven't even seen today that are killers also. If these guys, we're going to start using the word killer. And killers it's nice to say that. It sounds wonderful, but everybody has a killer. Everybody has a horse they think is a killer.
Well,
so we're going to find out.
And they may or may not be.
Yeah, we're going to find out.
They look like they want to be.
Yeah. When they roll up in behind the gate, we'll see what they're all made of in July. As far as the next generation goes, Roser and AJ is going to the next generation as our colt, right? Freedom Hill was good today. I was going to say Aunt Lily's a lock. She's not. Freedom Hill and Aunt Lily are in a grudge match for the filly trotter division. The trotting colt division, I think, was solidified today. That's I Don't Play Nice, which is super cool because that's a homebred, right? That's a stable homebred. And on the pacing filly side, I would have to say Gorgeous Package drew off a little bit today. The other 2 are still. We get the wrinkles out of. You didn't even remotely see the best Foxy Seaside today. She's a killer too. And Roser and Alexander, we just got to get her away from that knee, and I think we can. But as of today, gun to my head type situation. Gorgeous Package, Roser and AJ, I Don't Play Nice, and potentially Aunt Lily. So we're starting to see the canvas be painted a little bit, be sketched on a little bit. But it's a cool time of year, a great time of year. Thanks for coming over. You sure there's a couch in the bottom?
No, I'm good.
No couches for Steve?
Okay. No.
Steve's heading back right now from Brunswick to Etobicoke. And it was just a great day today. Did you see how many people? Yeah, you were in there. How many people were in the barn after?
Between 100 and 150.
Yeah, it was amazing how many people showed up. It was a great time considering the weather for sure. So with that, I hope all of you guys had a great time. I suspect your top 3 list looks the same as ours. And of course, there's a lot of horses that weren't able to be mentioned today.
I mean, our top 10 lists were probably 9 or 10. 9 of the 10 were we had the same, just kind of
similar. I didn't have Rosetta, which Rosetta's a killer.
Okay, I have,
And I didn't have your other horse.
Soft spot.
Yeah, 8 out of 10.
Who did you have? Who was
The other one, 6 and 7, I didn't have on my list of yours. You had Rosetta and one other horse that I did not have on. You didn't have Freedom Hill on your list, and I had mine. It was Manhattan Money. I didn't have him on there, and I think he's a nice horse. So.
Yeah, but in retrospect, I can see how I missed Freedom Hill.
Yeah, she looked. I missed her too until Scotty and I were watching the replays, and I'm like, look at where this filly comes from.
Yeah,
and out 2 turns, last 3 quarters of 129. It's a killer mile.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll let you get underway.
I also like Blue Ventura, Gymboree.
Blue Ventura was great, and of course, everybody saw me hook that wheel. If I don't hook that wheel, he's gone. He wins the qualifier by 3/4 of a length minimum. Very nice colt, impressed me, but what I liked the most was he lost his left front shoe going behind the gate. It didn't bother him, which means I can probably get those flip-flops off now. And if I can get a set of full swedges, light full swedges on him, much better animal. Anyway, I will talk to you guys soon. I will talk to you soon. You have a great 4.5 hour drive home.
Fun.
And I will talk to all of you soon. Take care.